Hi everyone, welcome to my English. My name is Hira and today we will be doing the next question type in IELTS listening, and that's called matching and classifying questions. Matching type questions are pretty common, and here you'll see two sets of words or sentences. There is a slight difference between the two, and I'm going to show you how do these questions look like first of all, and then I'm going to tell you what are the tips for doing such questions, and then we are going to take up one exercise based on matching and classifying questions. So let's get started. So first of all, how do they look like? This is a matching type question. So as you can see, there are alphabets above, and these have to be chosen. So you have to choose 5 answers from the box and write the correct letter next to these questions. There are two sets of sentences or phrases or words that you have to match with the lettered options A to G, A to F, and so on with the numbers. These are matching questions, so these have to be matched with each other. And these are classifying questions. A, B, C are the categories, and they have to be classified for these 15 to 20 questions. The thing that you need to note is A, B, and C. They will all be repeated. But in matching questions, the options will not get repeated. Now let's take a look on how do you solve these question types. The first thing is the numbered items appear in order in which you hear them, but the lettered options do not. So you always have to focus on the numbers and not on the letters. Next thing is make sure you read all the options before the recording starts. And finally, the words that you hear that give you the right answer may not be the same as the words on the page. On the other hand, you may hear the exact word from one of the options, but that does not necessarily mean that it is the right answer. So look out for synonyms. Look out for paraphrasing. Now let me just show you how does a question looks like. This is 14 number listening test and it's test number 1 for general. So if you're completely new to IELTS, let's take a look at all the question types. So this, as you can see, is a form filling type question. This is multiple choice question. This is a classifying question. As you see, A, B, C, and these are the options. This is a classification question. This is again a multiple choice question, multiple choice with single answer. And this is a matching question. And finally, this is a notes completion. Now let's take a look at this first. So we are doing a classification question first. And I'm going to play the audio for this part, 15 to 20th.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20.
This is the time where you look at the questions, the options. It is encouraged. There are some restrictions and against the rules. These are your keywords.
Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Now, I just want to run through a few company policies for our apprenticeship scheme with you. Most importantly, the internet. As part of your job, you'll be doing some research online, so obviously you'll have unlimited access for that. But please don't use it for personal use. You'll have your own phones for that. Some of you have already asked me about flexible working. After your probationary 3-month period, some of you will be eligible for this. But it will depend on which department you're in and what your personal circumstances are. So please don't assume you'll automatically be permitted to do this. I want to make sure there's no confusion about our holiday policy. Apart from any statutory public holidays, we ask that you don't book any holidays until after your 6-month apprenticeship has finished. Time off should only be taken if you are unwell. Please speak to your supervisor if this is going to be a problem. You'll be expected to work a 40-hour week, but there may be opportunities to do overtime during busy periods. Although you're not required to do this, It can be a valuable experience, so we advise you to take it up if possible. Obviously, we understand that people do have commitments outside work, so don't worry if there are times when you are unavailable. As you know, we don't have a formal dress code here. You may wear casual clothes as long as they are practical. And the only restriction for shoes we have is on high heels for health and safety reasons. Comfortable shoes like trainers are preferable. There's a heavily subsidised canteen on site where you can get hot meals or salads cheaply. Snacks and drinks are also provided, so we've decided to introduce a no-packed lunch policy. This is partly to encourage healthy eating at work and partly to stop people from eating at their workstation, which is unhygienic. Okay, moving on.
That is the end of section 2.
Using the internet, it is allowed but with some restrictions. So B, 15th is B. For 16th, it's again B. For 17th, it is against the rules, so it is C. 18th is working overtime, it is encouraged, A. Wearing trainers, A. Bringing food to work is against, so it is C. Okay, now this one is a matching type question. Choose 5 answers from the box and write the correct letter A to G next to question 26 to 30. So since this is 26 to 30, it is audio number 3. So I'm going to play the audio from the middle because 21 to 25 is based on another question type.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30.
Okay, so important thing is you make a note of these. Historical background, geographical factors, past mistakes, future risk, international implications. Visuals, keep it short, involve other students. So read all these options silently.
Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
So, I think we've probably got enough for our presentation. It's only 15 minutes.
Okay, so I suppose we'll begin with some general historical background about why coastal cities were established. But we don't want to spend too long on that. The other students will already know a bit about it. It's all to do with communications and so on.
Yes.
He said that we don't want to keep it too long. So for 26, it should be option number B. He said we don't keep it too long. That means keep it short. So that's how you're supposed to mark it. Let's play further. For geographical factors.
We should mention some geographical factors, things like wetlands and river estuaries and coastal erosion and so on. We could have some maps of different cities with these features marked.
On a handout, you mean? Or some slides everyone can see?
Yeah, that'd be better.
Now, as for the geographical factors, it's quite confusing because he said we should have a handout, so you apparently choose option number E. But it is not, because he said later that we could use some slides or something. So slide is nothing but a visual. So for 27th, it's going to be answer A and not E. Okay, now I'm not going to stop in between. I'm just going to play it in a flow.
It'd be good to go into past mistakes in a bit more detail. Did you read that case study of the problems there were in New Orleans with flooding a few years ago?
Yes, we could use that as the basis for that part of the talk. I don't think the other students will have read it, but they'll remember hearing about the flooding at the time.
Okay. So that's probably enough background.
So then we'll go on to talk about what action's been taken to deal with the problems of coastal cities.
Okay. What else do we need to talk about? Maybe something on future risks, looking more at the long term if populations continue to grow?
Yeah, we'll need to do a bit of work there. I haven't got much information. Have you?
No, we'll need to look at some websites. Shouldn't take too long.
Okay. And I think we should end by talking about international implications. Maybe we could ask people in the audience. We've got people from quite a lot of different places.
That'd be interesting, if we have time, yes.
So that's the end of it. Now let's take a look at the answers. For 26, we've already discussed it is going to be option B, keep it short. So you'll not write keep it short, you'll only write option B, just B. Geographical factors 27th, it is A, which is use visuals. For 28th, it is focus on one example, which is F. 29th is do online research, G. 30th is international implications, which is involve other students, C. So that's it. I hope you've understood by this exercise. Try to do some more practice and keep learning. Stay safe. Bye bye and have a nice day.